Hey, how's it? Cowboy Boss here. How you doing? All right. So yeah, Saturday barely got any sleep. Paid the price. Sunday, out of it. Monday, lazy. I just want to talk about the draft a little bit, recap, and then maybe a little bit about the undrafted free agent. Um, Mozzie Smith. I got what I wanted. I know I was kind of going Joey Porter Jr., Nolan Smith, because I wanted Siaki Ika. As much as I like Siaki Ika, when we drafted Mozzie Smith, I was like, I'm good. Because I got what I wanted. A big, nasty, physical guy, presence in the middle. That when Hankins got there, they showed that we got stability at not being bullied anymore. Because that was still going on in the beginning of the year. It was one of years and years past. We was one of the best at time possession. Last year we was one of the worst. When Hankins saw that, you saw the difference, and so that's when I think finally the Cowboys was like, we gotta address this situation and everything. And his job is basically, you know, basically be that guy in the middle, be that physical guy that's going to be punching everybody in the mouth and making everybody look better. That's his job. And but then the thing about him as well too, he has more athleticism than people give him credit for. So he's gonna be pushing that power back. He's gonna create some pass rush, maybe force the quarterback into some bad areas and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Next, we went with Shoemaker. Now, I think when Berringer went off the board, I think they was like, okay, let's get tight end. But then Sam Laporta was off the board. I think that's the one that they really wanted. And, Shoemaker, I said that he's redrafting Schultz again, and then he's very similar to what Ferguson is. I think because when we drafted Schultz, I was like, okay, he's a complete tight end. He can catch and he can block. Man, Schultz rookie year, and even though his entire time with us, man, he was getting bullied as a blocker in his rookie year, and then he came okay, but he still wasn't that guy. He still that's why we drafted Ferguson. I think as a physicality standpoint, I think Shoemaker's way more physical as a blocker. He's not gonna get punked like that. And I think as with his physicality and maybe with a little bit more speed, I think he's better than that with over Schultz. But I also think that he's more sure-handed than Ferguson is and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so tough nosed kid, tough guy. He's not, again, not gonna get punked and all that. This part of the draft, I was like kind of getting locked into left guard, left guard, left guard. But we ended up drafting Devarion Overshown. Um, Speed, length will bring the hurt if he lets you hit you and all that kind of stuff. So and then with his size and length too, you can move him and you can switch spots with him with create mismatches for him and Michael Parsons and all that kind of stuff. On the TV, they said something I was thinking about, exactly what I was thinking about. He mirrors the quarterback really well. So if a quarterback is trying to take off and all that, and he gets a line of sights on of him, he might hit him, and then they're gonna be the quarterback's gonna be hitting, gonna be like, I don't know if I want to do that again. Make them think twice before they do that again, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe slide a little bit earlier than they wanted to, and all that. So yeah. Next, again, I start going left guard, running back, left guard, running back. um, we ended up drafting Vianami Fiocco, and I this is my favorite pick of the draft. Like I wasn't on him early. I was like caught him a couple times in the season, and I remember saying somebody. I think one of the telecasts. I think they said something about, he's gonna be very interesting. He's gonna be a guy that brings depth to a team in the next year's draft. And I was like, go ahead, good, I like it. And then with the vision of you saw how pumped Dan Quinn was over him. He has good size, good speed, nasty. So it is size, that you can play him outside, you can play him inside, like how Chauncey Golston. Um, he has a motor that won't quit, so that referee better make sure that everybody can hear their whistle because he's not gonna stop to that to that to that whistle into that whistles being blown and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, finally we drafted offensive lineman with Asim Richards. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. I know that I feel like I know the ACC well enough. I did not know him. So I reached out to a couple guys that I converse with on Twitter, social media, and I was asking them, what do you guys think about this kid and all that? Like, what, right tackle and all that kind of stuff, and they was like, no, 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 he can play. He has a lot of experience. He played a lot. Started for 3 years, and I was like, okay. And even though he's like his weight is not that high. He's not in the 330s, 325, 330. He's stronger than what I was like. Okay, so can he start? And he's like, he can compete for it, but I don't know if he can start. And I was like, okay, I want someone to start. I mean, so it's promising. Made me feel better about the pick, but and more promising for the future. But I was kind of hoping for the more impact now kind of thing, or whatever. Uh, Next was Eric Scott Jr. I know that, yeah, I mean, cause I know he played on the East and West Striking game. I didn't know who he was and all that kind of stuff. So I still had on my DVR. Didn't really notice him and all that kind of stuff. And then I was looking on YouTube just to see if what I can find, and then they showed a clip on the East and West Shrine game. Because he's physical and he's good size and all that. He was on a one on one drills, and and wide receivers usually dominate. Zay Flowers, who's one of the best, one of the best uh, route runners in the draft. He was, because of his physicality, and because he's pretty understanding of his routes. Man, he was bullying Zay Flowers a little bit. So yeah, definitely a special teams guy. So yeah. Next was the feel good moment. We drafted Deuce Vaughn. His father, Chris Vaughn, is a scout on the Cowboys. Um, while I think he's a good player, this kid and all that, it's hard to get excited for the pick because, one, again, the left guard situation is sticking out like a sore thumb. Um, if if Idoka or whoever's playing left guard doesn't provide us stability there, then all the elusiveness, all the speed, all the breakaway speed and all that kind of stuff that Deuce Vaughn can do won't matter. And then he's not gonna get on field on passing situations because he's undersized and we don't know how good he is as a pass protection kind of guy. And then thirdly, do you trust Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy to get this kid involved in the offense, make him have where he can use that mismatching capabilities that he has? That remains to be seen, but I'm not holding my breath for that. I know that. Finally, we drafted another Jalen. We drafted another Jalen Brooks. Um, as far as anything, I saw highlights of him, and that's what they showed, highlight catches and all that. So yeah. Um, anyway, for the undrafted free agents, um, TJ Bass, who I kind of was considering to draft and all that at times. I think he's gonna be best served inside. I know he was listed I know he's a tackle, but I think he's gonna be better suited inside. Earl Bostic, you know, again, out as much depth as we can with the offensive line. I'll do it. The entire suite and Isaiah Lamb, man, that's vision. That's straight up visionary for Dan Quinn and everything. But the two guys I'm very intrigued with is Hunter Lipke, um, from the Dakota Bison thing. He plays fullback, but they used him as a main runner, and he can flank him like a tight end, and man, he can catch the ball too. So I'm really liking him and all that. Next though is the guy I'm really intrigued with. Is Princeton Fant from Tennessee. Now they list him as a tight end, but they showed some where he was lining up as a fullback and stuff like that. Man, this kid could block on the second level and catching out of the backfield. Man, he was explosive. I was like, I want him to succeed. So yeah. So those are the guys and all that. So anyway, I know there's a couple other guys, but I gotta learn about them. All right, that's my video. Mahalo for watching. Pani all the boys. Who you with? You know who I'm with? I'm with the Dallas Cowboys.